the Let's Master English podcast, and I'm your host, Coach Shane. Hello, everybody. This is Coach Shane. Thank you very much for tuning in to the Let's Master English podcast, episode 91, June 23rd, 2023. Today, I have a really sad story. Breaking headline, very sad story. So in the news, we got lots to learn, but once again, it is a very sad story. But we do have a very interesting fact from Country Shane, and woo-wee, something special in the Q&A section. It's really good. And of course, what happened today in history, June 23rd, some really interesting things. I'm pretty excited. And it is June 23rd, so what types of observances are there? Do you know what an observance is? Well, listen to the podcast and you shall find out. So, without any more chit-chat, let the fun begin. A tragic underwater expedition ended fatally as a submersible carrying 5 explorers imploded near the Titanic wreck site, killing all on board. The ill-fated mission concluded with a bleak confirmation when the submersible's 96-hour oxygen supply depleted and the U.S. Coast Guard found debris near the Titanic in the North Atlantic. This accident came to light after acoustic data analysis revealed an anomaly suggesting an implosion. OceanGate Expeditions, which operated the submersible, confirmed the unfortunate loss of all 5 individuals. The company, engaged in annual voyages documenting Titanic's decay since 2021, now faces questions about its submersible's safety as the maritime world grieves the loss of these ocean explorers. Once again, it is a very sad news story. I don't know if you have been following it, but it has been in America's headlines the past couple days, and the ending is tragic. So let's start at the top again. A tragic underwater expedition ended fatally. So underwater, we understand that. Expedition, basically that means an adventure, a journey, a voyage, usually for science to explore. So an underwater journey, sea exploration. Tragic, very sad, very sad. Ended fatally, F-A-T-A-L-L-Y, meaning with death. A tragic underwater expedition ended with death. As a submersible, let me spell that, S-U-B-M-E-R-S-I-B-L-E. Submersible is like a submarine. It's an underwater vehicle that drives underwater, just like a submarine. But a submarine is kind of really big. You know, think about the military. They have submarines. A submersible is much smaller, maybe only one man. Actually, this submersible could carry 5 people. Okay, so the sentence again. A tragic underwater expedition ended fatally as a submersible carrying 5 explorers imploded near the Titanic wreck site, killing all on board. All 5 explorers, they were men, so all 5 men died near the Titanic, very, very close to the Titanic, the ship. What happened? The submersible imploded. I-M-P-L-O-D-E-D. Now, imploded is just like exploded. But when we say explode, something bursts outward. And when we say implode, something bursts inward. So this is in the ocean, deep, deep down in the ocean. So there's a lot of water pressure. Have you ever gone swimming even in a swimming pool. And if you go deep into the water, your ears hurt, right? That's because of the water pressure. And if there's enough pressure, it'll actually crush you or a submersible. And when it crushes, we say it implodes. So it's an inward explosion, basically. Okay, does that make sense? Wow. So the first sentence. A tragic underwater expedition ended fatally as a submersible carrying 5 explorers imploded near the Titanic wreck site, killing all on board. The ill-fated mission, ill-fated, ILL-FATED. If something is ill-fated, that means its destiny is to fail. Its destiny is to have bad luck. We can simply say unlucky or doomed, D-O-O-M-E-D. The ill-fated mission, the unlucky mission, the doomed mission concluded, it finished with a bleak confirmation when the submersible's 96-hour oxygen supply depleted. So bleak means dismal, terrible, with a terrible confirmation, with a very sad confirmation. When the submersible's 96-hour oxygen supply depleted. So this submersible, this submarine, has oxygen, right, for the people on the submersible. They need to breathe oxygen. But how much oxygen do they have? They have a total of 96 hours, which is basically 4 days of oxygen. And 4 days have passed. So that means there is no more oxygen. The oxygen supply was depleted. There's no more. They ran out. The ill-fated mission concluded with a bleak confirmation when the submersible's 96-hour oxygen supply depleted and the U.S. Coast Guard found debris near the Titanic in the North Atlantic. So the U.S. Coast Guard, it's like the Navy, a little bit different, but basically like it's like the United States Sea or Ocean Police. Okay, that's the idea. They found debris, D-E-B-R-I-S. We do not say debris. We say debris. I guess it comes from French. And what does debris mean? Debris means pieces of the ship. Rubble, R-U-B-B-L-E. Wreckage, W-R-E-C-K-A-G-E. So this submersible, it exploded. It didn't explode, it imploded. But the result is the same. The pieces of the submersible were broken up and spread over an area on the bottom of the ocean. And the U.S. Coast Guard found debris. Where was it? It was very close to the Titanic. Where? In the North Atlantic. So the ocean between the United States and South America, and Canada, of course, North America and South America, and Europe and Africa, that ocean is called the Atlantic Ocean. But this was the North Atlantic. This accident came to light after acoustic data analysis revealed an anomaly suggesting an implosion. So the U.S. Coast Guard and other ships, they have basically microphones in the ocean. They can sense sound. They can sense explosions or implosions in the ocean. Specifically sounds. Acoustic means related to sound. So acoustic data analysis means they heard something. They recorded a sound. The accident came to light. The accident was realized. The accident was learned about after they analyzed, they studied acoustic data. And the acoustic data, basically the ocean sound is, that's the sound of the ocean. But this acoustic data, it was like, so there was something strange in the middle of the acoustic data. And that strange sound was called an anomaly. ANOMALY. An anomaly is something that's not regular. It's irregular. It's weird. It's strange. The accident came to light after acoustic data analysis revealed an anomaly, suggesting an implosion. So just by listening to the sound, that weird, strange sound, they knew something happened. They didn't know what it was, but these guys are smart. And they assumed, oh my God, probably the submersible imploded. So who owns this submersible? What company is it? OceanGate Expeditions. That's the name of the company. OceanGate Expeditions, which operated the submersible, confirmed the unfortunate loss of all 5 individuals. There were 5 men on the submersible, and they all died. And the company said, yes, it's true. They're all gone. It was the CEO of the company, a very famous French explorer, a very rich British man. He was basically a tourist. He was exploring too. And then 2 men, I believe they're from Pakistan, a father and a son. I think the father was 48 and the son was only 19. Now, if there's good news, there's no good news. But if there's good news, these 5 men most likely died instantly. In other words, they did not suffer. They did not know what happened. We hope. But what a terrible loss. Can you imagine the families of these 5 individuals? The company, OceanGate Expeditions, engaged in annual voyages documenting Titanic's decay since 2021. So for the past 2 years, since 2021, this company has frequently gone to visit the Titanic, the ship, at the bottom of the ocean, and they're documenting, they're filming, they're showing the decay of the ship. Decay, D-E-C-A-Y, how the ship is breaking down. You know, if you put something in water, if it's in water for one day, let's say you take a can, let's say a can of Coca-Cola, an empty can of Coca-Cola, and you put it in water, and then you check tomorrow, it's the same. You check a month later, it's probably the same. But if you check like 2 years later, well, now probably some of the paint, some of the color has changed. And if you check 10 years later, well, maybe a lot of the can is like broken down, maybe even disappeared. This is called decay. Decay. If you have a banana and you put it outside, after 1 day, the banana is the same, but after 2 days, the banana is brown. After a week, the banana is like, ugh, gross. And probably after 30 days, the banana's gone. You can't even find the banana. It has decayed. So this company has been watching and documenting the decay of the Titanic since 2021. The company now faces questions. Now people are asking this company questions. What kind of questions? About its submersible's safety. How safe was your submersible? Was it safe? It doesn't sound very strong. What happened? As the maritime world, as the shipping world, as everybody who loves the sea, as all of those people grieves. And what does it mean to grieve? To feel intense sorrow, to be really sad about the loss of something. Mourn, M-O-U-R-N. As the world grieves the loss of these ocean explorers, these 5 people. Once again, the French explorer and the CEO, they were not that young, and they've been down there several times together. But the British billionaire and the Pakistani dad and son, especially the son, 19 years old, the dad 48, taken. In an instant, they didn't probably suffer, but taken from their families, taken from us. A very sad story, very sad story. The Titanic. I think hopefully everybody is familiar with the Titanic. It's a very famous, tragic story about a ship that left England and was heading to the United States, and it hit an iceberg and it sunk. And they called the Titanic the unsinkable ship. But it sunk. Is that right? Was it going to the UK, or was it coming from the UK? Maybe it was going to the UK. Sorry, my history on the Titanic. There's a movie, right? Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, they're the main actors of the movie. Did you see the movie? I actually saw the movie many, many, many years ago. Yeah. It's a nice movie. It's one of those, I guess, romance movies, but yeah, not my style of movie. But anyway, the story of the Titanic is, there's a lot of interesting stories regarding the Titanic. Maybe one day we'll discuss them. There are several conspiracy theories. If you know about conspiracy theory, then you can be interested. But if you don't worry. It's okay. It's today we're not talking about that. Today we're focused on the 5 men who tragically lost their life. And the question is, was it simply an accident, or did the company who owned and built the submersible, are they responsible? Was their submersible no good? This is a question. Because if the submersible is determined to be no good, then this is going to change laws about submersibles and private exploration. Trust me, this will affect the future of submersibles and people exploring deep, deep, deep underwater. Would you go on a submarine or a submersible? Would you? Me? No, I would not. I had a friend a long time ago in high school. He joined the Navy, and he actually was on a nuclear submarine. I guess he liked it. Me? No. No, thank you. Not interested, especially after a story like this. So RIP to those 5 men. I hope you understand the story. It is a sad story. Let me read it one more time. A tragic underwater expedition ended fatally as a submersible carrying 5 explorers imploded near the Titanic wreck site, killing all on board. The ill-fated mission concluded with a bleak confirmation when the submersible's 96-hour oxygen supply depleted and the U.S. Coast Guard found debris near the Titanic in the North Atlantic. This accident came to light after acoustic data analysis revealed an anomaly suggesting an implosion. OceanGate Expeditions, which operated the submersible, confirmed the unfortunate loss of all 5 individuals. The company, engaged in annual voyages documenting Titanic's decay since 2021, now faces questions about its submersible's safety as the maritime world grieves the loss of these ocean explorers.
Where education and entertainment come together. Let's master English. Do it.
How you doing, everybody? This is Country Shane, and I'm bringing you the facts. Did you know that the wreck of the Titanic, which sank in 1912, was not discovered until 1985, 73 years later? It was found around 3,800 meters below the North Atlantic's ocean surface. There's zero light down there. 3,800 meters underwater. Zero light. That is so scary. Yes, I confirmed the Titanic had left England, specifically Southampton, England, and was traveling to New York City. Unfortunately, it sunk on April 15th, 1912. 2,240 passengers and crew were traveling on the Titanic. Only 706 people survived. They're not exactly sure how many people died, but they estimate 1,517 people lost their lives in the middle of the night back in 1912. All right, let's move on. Different subject, hopefully a little bit lighter. Q&A time, and the question is fantastic. Actually, we talk about this quite a bit, especially in DDM. That's my listening class. It's such a great class. If you have not tried DDM, you need to. Anyway, the question was, can the word they, T-H-E-Y, be singular? What? They? Hello? Of course it's plural, right? They. More than one person, right? They. 2 people, 3 people, 10 people, 100 people, they. 1,000 people, they, right? So what do you mean? Can they be singular? The answer is yes. Yes, it can be singular. Yeah, they can be used in the singular form. How? As a gender-neutral pronoun. Seriously. Especially in informal English, in other words, when we speak. But also in formal English when we do not know the gender of the person being referred to, or if it's not important. So, for example, I'm talking to you, right? Now, think about it. Me, Coach Shane, I'm talking to you. But do I know if you are a male or a female? I don't know. And do I know if you're married or single? I don't know. So in this case, let's say somebody leaves a message on Spotify saying, Shane, I love the podcast. Thank you so much. And the name is like Titanic. The name is Titanic. So I don't know if you're a male or a female. I have no idea. But I can say this. Oh, Titanic left a message on Spotify and said, Coach Shane, I love the LME podcast. Thank you so much. They listen all the time. They listen all the time. They, it's one person. Yes, but I don't know if it's a male or a female. They can be singular in reference to a gender-neutral pronoun. So I don't know if it's a he, I don't know if it's a she. So in this case, I could say, and he or she left a message. I can say that, or I can simply say, and they left a message. Yes, they can be singular. Can you believe it? So for example, if someone doesn't feel, so here's the sentence. If someone doesn't feel comfortable, they should say something. Someone is one person. If someone doesn't feel comfortable, they's plural. No, he or she. He or she should say something. Or simply, they should say something. If someone loses their phone, they usually panic. He or she. When a student is late, they must give a reason to the teacher. When a student is one. When a student is late, they must give a reason to the teacher, he or she. If a friend doesn't answer their phone, they might be busy. We're talking about a friend, but if a friend doesn't answer his or her phone, simply their phone. He or she might be busy, simply they might be busy. Boom, boom. Got it? Can they be singular? Yes, especially if we don't know if it's a he or a she. Today in history, June 23rd. It is June 23rd, 2023. I hope you're having a great day. It's, what is it, Friday or Saturday? Today's Friday, TGIF. It's Friday. Gotta love that. So what happened in history on today, June 23rd? Well, in 1961, the Antarctic Treaty. Do you know the Antarctic? That's the South Pole. The North Pole is the Arctic, right? That's the Arctic area. But the South Pole, that's the Antarctic area. The Antarctic Treaty, which prohibits any military activity. No military activity. No mining. No mining for gold. No mining for oil. No mining for diamonds. No nuclear tests. None of that stuff. The Antarctic Treaty came into effect. You can do none of that. The only thing you can do in the Antarctic is science. That's it. So in 1961, that was agreed to. That was signed. And once again, there are many conspiracy theories about this. I'm curious, have any of you been to the Antarctic? If so, I would love to hear from you. Maybe I'll interview you. On June 23rd in 1984, the song Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper reached #1. Do you know that song? That's a good song, yeah. I'm not necessarily a big Cyndi Lauper fan, but I love that song. Time After Time is a really nice song. On June 23rd, 1989, Batman. Tim Burton's Batman, starring Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. That movie was released. It was huge, and it brought back superheroes. Superheroes became a big thing. That movie made a lot of money. In 1991, Sonic the Hedgehog, one of the most famous and influential video games, was released by Sega in North America. Yeah. So that was so we have Nintendo's Mario Brothers, right? Nintendo has Mario. Well, Sega had Sonic the Hedgehog. And to be honest, I never played Sonic the Hedgehog. I love Mario. I love Nintendo's Mario. In 2013, Nik Wallenda. Do you know him? Probably not. But this is interesting. I recommend you Google him. Nik Wallenda. Nikwallenda. Nik Wallenda, a member of the famous Wallenda family of daredevils. These guys are crazy. Successfully walked on a tightrope across the Grand Canyon without any safety equipment. He's the first person to have done this, and he is really crazy. And finally, on June 23rd, 2016, the United Kingdom voted to leave the EU. We call it the Brexit. What do you think? Are you happy about the UK leaving the EU? Do you wish the UK were still a member of the EU? I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment. Leave a comment on Spotify. That's the easiest place for me to see your comments. But you can email me a comment to contact@letsmasterenglish.com. And what about observances and holidays And what about observances or holidays taking place today? Well, there are a few observances. Today is International Widows Day. Widow, W-I-D-O-W. A widow is a woman whose husband has passed away. That's kind of sad. It's National Pink Day, P-I-N-K, the color. This is a celebration in the United States that encourages everyone to wear pink and to celebrate all things pink. There's no charity. It's just for fun. I don't think I have any pink clothing. I don't think I do. If I do, I guess I'll wear it today. Maybe not. In many countries today, June 23rd, is Midsummer's Eve, the day before the traditional midsummer holiday. A big celebration. You know, summer, the first day of summer was June 21st, and that's the summer solstice. That's when the number of hours of sunlight in the northern hemisphere is the most. It's also International Rosé Day. Rosé, the spelling R-O-S-E, just like rose, the flower. But this is a French word, and the pronunciation is rosé. And it refers to wine. Do you like wine? Do you like rosé? It's Let It Go Day. Let it go. Forget about it. Let it go. Let it go. Let it. Oh, wait, that's Let It Be. Same idea. Let it be. Let it be. Let it. Sorry. It's National Eat at a Food Truck Day. Do you have food trucks in your country? Food trucks are actually trucks with a restaurant on the back, and they usually focus on one type of food. For example, pizza or tacos or hamburgers or falafels or something like that. And sometimes food truck food can really be delicious, and sometimes it's expensive. Yeah, so it's National Eat at a Food Truck Day. It's National Hydration Day. In other words, drink a lot of water. Drink some Wawa. Drink some water. It is Pink Flamingo Day. Okay. It's also Runner's Selfie Day. Are you a runner? Do you like running? Like a marathon or a 5K or a 10K? Did you see my Instagram picture? Yep, there's a picture of me on Instagram many, many, many years ago when I was a runner. But it's Runner's Selfie Day. So when I was a runner, we didn't have cell phones, so we didn't really have selfies. But if you are a runner, then take a selfie and tag me. All right? Yeah, I'm on Instagram. Tag me there. It's also Take Your Dog to Work Day. Yeah, I have a dog. His name is Moose. Moose is a very lovely, very handsome 7-8-month-old German Shepherd puppy. I could never imagine taking him to work. He's too crazy, but I love him. And finally, it is Typewriting Day. Do you have a typewriter? Do you have a typewriter in your house? Does it work? When was the last time you used a typewriter? For me, boy, I think the last time I used a typewriter was probably 1992, 1993. Yeah, probably around then. Maybe less, maybe 1990. Yeah. I had a typewriter. I had a Smith Corona typewriter, but no more. No more typewriters. Those are the observances for today, June 23rd, 2023. And that brings us to the end of another LME podcast. I hope you are enjoying these podcasts. Today, we studied a lot. We explored the tragic tale of an underwater expedition to the Titanic, and we learned about the deaths of 5 men, including one very, very young man. We learned about using the word they as a singular pronoun, and of course, we took a journey through history, and we know what's happening today. As always, I hope the things that I talk about make you curious, and I hope that you study more. In English or in your language, it doesn't matter, but I hope that I'm opening some ideas or curiosity in your minds. That's the whole idea of LME. And if you have questions or comments or thoughts that you want to share, or if there's a topic that you want me to talk about, send me an email, contact@letsmasterenglish.com. I would love to hear from you, even just a hello, even just a hi. Remember, mastering English is not something you do in a day. It's a lifelong journey. You know, just like exploring the ocean, exploring the language or any language takes it's endless. There's no end to exploring the ocean. There's no end to exploring a language. So stay curious and keep learning. And before I say goodbye, please, as always, if you found any value in this LME podcast, if you think it's helping your English, if you like the entertainment or the education or both, please support me. Share the podcast with your friends on Facebook, anywhere, wherever. Tell your friends, please. Leave me a review on iTunes or Spotify, anywhere, and that helps us reach more people. Join me next time for another excellent news story, more facts from Country Shane, another great question. And don't forget, get my free listening and speaking lessons. Sign up for my newsletter at letsmasterenglish.com if you want. And this is, for now, it's free, but we're going to change this. It won't be free forever, but right now it's free if you want to try our VIP lessons and live classes. You can do that for free. And don't forget, finally, our summer sale, the Super Summer Sale, starts on June 26th. I'm offering a huge discount on memberships that will take your English to the next level. And you can save me some money. So again, join me in the next episode. Have a fantastic weekend. Have a coffee with your best friend, whoever they are. And together, let's master English.